All right, here's our review for our test. Your test is going to be just like this review with different numbers, okay? So please be careful and take note of all these concepts, just the way I teach them, or just the way we go over it here on the review. Okay, what's the domain and range, right? So let's domain and range of this function, okay? So first of all, we can type it in here. Okay, now you do need to know the vertex, right? The vertex is at 1, 4. So the vertex at 1, comma 4. We know the domain is always going to be all real numbers. Always. So I can already circle C. Domain is all real numbers. But I need 2 correct answers, right? The range, I can see on the graph right here that, 4 is where it stops, right? That's the change of direction, the vertex. But it goes up from there. So it's like the y values, but it goes up, so it goes greater than or equal to 4. So which answer is the best for the range? Y greater than or equal to 4. That would be letter D. Oops. Okay, number 2 here. We have this graph of the quadratic shown. What is the range of the function? So where's the vertex? The vertex is at 1, 2, 3 to the right, and then 2 down, right? That's at 3, comma 2. Well, my range, right? What's the range of this function? The highest it goes is this y value of 2, and the y is going to go down or less than 2. Now remember, it's also underlined. It's less than or equal to 2. So, all real numbers less than or equal to, and my bad, that's supposed to be negative 2. Less than or equal to negative 2. Cool. All right. We have this graph right here, and we want to select 2 correct answers. Now let's find that vertex. That vertex is right here. The vertex is negative 3, comma 0. Cool. So when it says the vertex is negative 2, comma 0, that's not correct. Okay. Now, what's the minimum value of this function? Well, the minimum is here at 0. Like that's as far down as it goes. So it's not negative 2. Does the function have a minimum? Well, remember, your graph can either look like this or this. This at the bottom is a min. This at the top is a max. So minimum value, I can see it right there. It is at the bottom of a U shape. And then this is super important. The function has 1, 0. Okay. What is a 0? A 0 is an x-intercept. You gotta know this word. It's from Algebra 1, but I'm telling you again, the x-intercept is called a 0. So how many times does this graph touch the x-axis? Well, it's on that vertex 1 time. 1, 0 is correct. So why would E be wrong if there's only two correct answers? Well, this axis of symmetry does go through -3, but a vertical line would be x equals -3. That's my axis of symmetry. So it's not y equals. That's not right. Cool. All right. A graph of a function is shown. What are the zeros? What did we just say? What's a zero? X-intercepts. So we want to select two correct answers, and you're actually going to click them on the graph here. Okay, so like when you do this on the computer, you're going to click them. So where do I find x-intercepts? Here's my x-axis, and it's right here and right here. That one and that one. It's not any of these three at the bottom, okay? These three are not it because they don't cross x, okay? All right. On here, whoa. The graph of the quadratic is shown on the grid. Which two statements are true? The coordinates of the vertex is -5, 4. -5, 1, 2, 3, 4 is right there. That is the vertex. That's great. The function has no zeros. Now, do we remember that zeros are x-intercepts? Well, how many x-intercepts do you see here? I see one. I see two. There's two zeros. So this says no zeros. That's wrong. It has a y-intercept of 0, 4. Well, 0, 4 is right here. It's on the y-axis, right? So that's no, that's not right. Is the axis of symmetry x equals -5? So we've been saying this. The axis is x equals, and it does go through -5. X equals -5 is correct. That's great. Is one of the x-intercepts -7, 3? -7, 3 is right here, and that is definitely not an x-intercept. So that is wrong. Cool. Okay, what about number 6? What's the missing information? Let's take this to Desmos. All right, so they want to know the y-intercept, 0, -6. So the y-intercept is 0, -6. That's good. I can see it right there. And then it says the vertex. Okay, where's that vertex? Changes direction at 1, -8. 1, -8. Perfect. That's it. The quadratic function is graphed. Identify the vertex of the function. Okay, well, where does it change direction? Right there. So all I had to do was select it, just click it. That's it right there. Cool. Right there. I don't know how else to highlight it for you. All right. Number 8. X squared was made to make this. What are the transformations? Okay. So remember, x squared is the parent function. Now you can graph it in Desmos and look at it, but when you do that, it's going to look just like this, roughly, I should say. So to get from this x squared to this new one, g, what happened? Well, hold on 1 second. Well, it did reflect over the x-axis. Do you see how it flipped? Instead of going up, now it's going down. And it did shift. Well, which direction? Well, it looks like it shifted 1, 2, 3 to the right. That's it. Number 9. X squared was transformed to make this. Now remember, insiders lie, right? And that's horizontal, left to right. And outsiders no lie. And it's bottom to top. Cool. Okay, let me make this look nicer for 1 second. All right. So if that says +3 inside the parentheses, it's a lie. It really means -3, which makes it go left 3. And then 2 units which way? Well, -2 is no lie, so it's going to be down. Okay. Now I'm going to show you. You can actually type these into Desmos. Watch this. So you type the original f of x equals x squared, and then go here and put g of x equals f of x plus 3 minus 2. If you just type these in the exact way you see them, you'll get both of your graphs, and you can see from this original parent function, the blue one, to this green one, it went left 3 and down 2. And that's what you can put on the answers, okay? The last one is going to be the exact same idea. Let's plug it in Desmos. Let's take a look at it. F of x, and then we have g of x equals f of x minus 4 plus 2. From this parent function to this purple one, it looks like it went 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and up 2. Okay. So which one says it's 4 to the right and then up 2? Well, there's 2 answers. So 4 to the right would be this one. And then 2 up would be this one. That's it. You should be able to use Desmos, use what you've learned, and you should be able to do this whole review on your own, hopefully, but also you should apply what you've just seen on this review on your quiz, on your test tomorrow, okay? So make sure you complete the review, study it, and do well on your tests.